What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got an awesome video planned today. We found a used Arrma Outcast 4S version 2.5 at a yard sale. Got a killer deal on it, couldn't pass it up. We're going to try and make this thing brand new. We're going to try and make this thing better than brand new when it's done. We've got a ton of parts for it. We've got some aftermarket parts, got some OEM parts. I'm also going to show you guys what to look out for if you find a used RC car. So let's go through it together and see what we got. If you don't mind, like and subscribe. We're trying to grow this small channel, but I appreciate you guys. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, let's start by going through what we got with the Outcast. So we got a charger, and it does work. I have tested it. So we got two brand new tires, got a bunch of odds and ends like this. These are what, body clip retainers. We got some Traxxas screws, because you know that's always cool. Anyways, that's basically it. Just a bunch of odds and ends. There was, oh, well, just broke that. A broken servo, a new servo. Oh, there's the other half of the servo saver, some more plastic balls, a whole steering kit. That's pretty cool. That'll come in handy. A new Spectrum servo. It's just a little bit, you know, just enough to sweeten the deal. But what I'm interested in is seeing why this thing isn't steering properly. So it does have that 662 in it. I believe that's the one that comes with the Mojave. So that might be part of the issue. Not exactly sure. So yeah, there's a good little bit here. Let's figure out what's going on with that. There is a ton of play. I think that servo saver's to blame. I mean, it's trying to save that servo entirely too well. So let's get that apart, see what's going on. It does look like someone did a, left a little bit to be desired with the soldering there. That's, I mean, I'm not the best in the world by any means. That's a little sketchy. We do have some damage on the body posts. I have a set already, but I ordered a plethora of parts for it. Everything from new bumpers to, I mean, absolutely everything that I thought we would need to make this thing just about brand new. Okay, so this is a really important part of it here. You're gonna want to definitely check out to see if you've got any bending or warpage, especially on these 2 to 3S models or these 4S models. I mean, shoot, all models, whatever. But you wanna check to see if anything's warped. So you see I got a straight edge here, and I'm just looking for any light to come through or peek out. I'm feeling it to make sure it's not teetering or rocking. So that's a big one. You definitely wanna check to see if that's warped. It's always good to give everything a nice thorough cleaning. You probably won't have a better opportunity than this right now because we're going through everything and cleaning everything. So even though I'm not quite ready to put it all back together, we're gonna clean as we go. Another thing you always wanna check is all your fluids. I mean, come on, we don't know what kind of condition this thing was treated in. If anybody has ever did any modifications, who knows, maybe someone put vegetable oil in here because they didn't have any diff fluid. So you always want to check your fluids. I've got the screws out. Okay, I've got the screws out. I can't exactly tell if this has been opened up before or not. I don't think so because all the screws were in pretty good condition and had the appropriate amount of Loctite on it. And none of them also had any diff fluid or grease or anything. A lot of times when someone gets in here that's inexperienced or what have you, you know, they'll get diff fluid in the bolt holes, which sucks because your Loctite won't adhere properly. So we gotta make sure that all the holes are clean, all the threads are good, and we got plenty of fluid in there. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, that's typical Arrma bone stockery, if I'd ever seen it. Okay, so while I got everything apart and everything open, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some 20 million diff fluid in here. No better time than now. I probably said that already. Anyways, let's go ahead and get some 20 million in here. What do you think, a little more? Let's gob a little more in there. Now, I personally like to mix diff fluid, maybe say 1 million or maybe something a little lighter, 500,000, with my 20 million. Don't ask me why, but it's just what I've come to do, and it's the tuning that works for me. So I was planning on removing all this old fluid and putting new in, but I can't find my 1 million or 500,000. I'd prefer 500,000. Can't find it, so we'll crack this thing back open here at a later date. I'm going to go ahead and just add 20 million to what we got now. I don't see any metal shavings or any burrs, spurs, nothing like that, so it looks okay for now. Let's keep going. All right, while I got everything open, it's really important that you make sure that there's no debris in any of these holes or oil or anything like that, or else your Loctite won't hold. So I like to get some contact cleaner and just give it a quick shot. That also gets rid of the old Loctite that was in there. We're going to get this back together and installed. I don't care how careful you are, a lot of times this will squeeze out into your holes. So the best thing to do is just put a screw in there and then set it all down. Just make sure you don't tighten the screw down to collapse it, or you might break something. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. You just barely start a few of these screws, and what that does is act like a plug so nothing gets pushed down into that hole when you collapse it, because it will squeeze out. All right, like a badass peanut butter jelly sandwich. All right, now we've got a ton of new parts coming. I can't wait. This thing's gonna be damn near brand new when we're done with it. Let's keep tearing this thing down. I've got everything from shock towers to the retention, the body pins, but I mean, you name it, I tried to get it. There's only a few things that I didn't get. The arms are in good shape, didn't get those. Yeah, that's about it. All right, we've got everything tore down. I'm loving it so far. I haven't found anything out of the ordinary that's jumped out at me. Everything looks pretty darn good. I think it's about time to start throwing new parts on. Man, this thing is in great shape. There's not a whole lot of wear on the diff. There's still plenty of fluid in there, and I might not even mess with the fluid. That feels just fine. That's about where I like it. So, cool. Man, I got a heck of a deal on this thing. I was really expecting to find something crazy. The worst thing that I found is the previous owner just threw all kind of different size screws in there, you know, wherever they felt like. And that's why it's so important. Try and remember where they came from. Use a piece of cardboard, label them, or put them back where they came from. You know, something like this. Let's get this thing back together. All right, guys. I told you we were gonna make this 4S beast like brand new, and I meant it. We got a shipment in from Jenny's. We've got a ton of parts to put on this thing. Not only did we get stuff from Jenny's, but we also got some pretty cool aftermarket stuff to put on too. Let's go ahead and throw this stuff on and make this thing brand new. Okay guys, I've already looked over the differentials in the case and everything looks great. There is not a problem here. I added just a little smear of some fresh grease, and that's really all it needed. I mean, this stuff is in amazing shape. Yeah, this diff right here, beautiful. And we're still gonna go ahead and replace parts like these, everything that we can. There's nothing like putting some fresh new parts on there. That looks great. These are still in excellent shape, so we're still going to keep these and keep the new ones as spares. All right, guys, we're really moving forward, making some really good progress. Now, there's some parts here and there that I might not replace just yet, just like this, receiver box and all that stuff. And the original's in great shape, and it's always good to have a brand new ready spare. So, if you see me skipping over a few things, that'd be the reason why. This thing was in absolutely great shape. Not perfect, but definitely great. We've got a lot of really good mods planned for this thing, so I'm gonna basically get it back to stock, make it new OEM spec, and then we're gonna start with the modifications. If you like what you're seeing and you wanna keep along and follow this build, go ahead and like and subscribe. We got some really fun stuff planned, and we already have another platform ready to go as soon as this one's done. It's only gonna get better from here, guys. I appreciate you watching. Let's keep going. If you have a hard time getting these battery straps in, sometimes it makes it easier if you just give it a little fold there. A little pro tip for you. Alright guys, we're going to stop right here because I ran into an issue. I must have missed this before, but this shock tower's got a heck of a lean to it. So we're going to go ahead and try and straighten this out. I'm going to show you how to do it. Alright, and if you still have your tool, you can go ahead and just undo your fitting here at the bottom. If you don't have your tool and you're handy with some pliers, you can sometimes get in there with a pair of small pliers and twist it off. And with your same tool, you have a nut here at the bottom. You can hold the mount and just unscrew the nut. It's usually not super tight. Try and keep all these parts as clean as you can. Now with that done, you just need to bend this back. This might not be the best way to do this, but this is the way I do it. I'll use the anvil on my vise and a brass hammer, and I'll very gently ease that hump out. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to be straight enough to clear. Okay guys, it's still got a little bend to it, but maybe it'll get me by for the time being. If the camera will focus, I'd show you. I promise I'd show you. Yeah, it's got a little bend to it still, but it is much better. I'm not loving it, so I'll probably get some new shocks. But let's get it back together. That's much better. It's actually functioning now. Before I couldn't get much out of it. It would want to hang up and get stuck. Alright, now with both shocks having 50 weight in the front, we're going to go ahead and put all the shocks on. Alright, so I ran into an issue with the captured nut inside of this body brace on here. it was wanting to strip and spin in the hole. So a way to keep the nut from stopping to spin is I put some kind of tool in there. There you go, and you hold onto the nut. You just use it to put pressure on the nut, and that puts pressure on the flats and allows you to tighten it. Let's try it on this top one. Yeah, works good. Okay, so with this new servo, it's got a couple problems. Now, it's just slightly too long to actually clear the receiver box, if you see here. Now, we have two solutions to that. We can either do a 10mm spacer around the servo and raise the servo up, or we can trim this down. I'm going for the latter. So we're gonna make this dude a little shorter. That way it'll clear the old servo box there. So let's go over and trim it up a fuzz. All right, we've got our servo saver trimmed up. Everything looks nice and squared. Let's see if it fits. That looks like it's going to be plenty of clearance. Good deal. That's perfect, right on the money. I'm going to go ahead and pre-tension this servo saver. So it turns out I'm an idiot. I'm going to need the 10mm spacer anyways. That's fine. We'll go 3D print this one pretty quick here. Alright guys, so we've got our servo spacer printed and ready to put on. It might work a little better now. You know, having a 3D printer really makes this stuff so much easier to do, especially if you can do this stuff all yourself. In my opinion, it's one of the best things you can get into as a secondary hobby if you're into, you know, doing your own builds and stuff like that. Especially if you're into modifications like this, man, there's nothing better than getting a 3D printer and making your own parts possible. That's pretty cool. So the reasoning behind doing this specific servo saver is I was having tons of slop in the steering. You know, this 4S system is notoriously bad for having some pretty sloppy steering. So I've went through several iterations of different servo savers. Shoot, I've got 2 or 3 right here. So obviously went with this one. You know, this is the stock one. It sucks. Trash. And I tried one of these. It's a hot racing imitation. Trash. So I ended up getting the hot racing actual servo saver. Still trash. They're just too weak. All of these are just so weak. You can literally overcome it by hand. So trash. Went to this one. Even put an extra spring in this one. It did better, but it's still, for these big wheels, it's still trash. So we're going the extreme route, and you know, it requires a spacer, some other stuff, modifying the servo saver, which is super easy. I mean, honestly, you could just clip that off if you wanted to. This is a knockoff of the Yes, but it's not hard to duplicate. It's basically just a spring and, you know, your typical servo saver. I actually haven't done this mod before, so we're gonna learn together, see how this goes. Now, it did also come with the button spacer too, as well, for the power button. So we'll see how that goes. In case you're wondering, these are 20 millimeter in length, 3 millimeter in diameter bolts, screws. What's the difference between a bolt and a screw? If I'm not mistaken, I think a bolt is supposed to have a nut. The technical definition, it's something like that. And a screw goes into something with threads? That sound right? Yeah, something like that. It's always a good idea to leave this just a little bit loose so everything lines up good. Yeah, everything still clears. Just barely though. And you always want to make sure you get this guy lined up as good as you can. That is absolutely beautiful. The best part about it is everything is fully adjustable as far as the tension. Definitely got to turn the steering radius down on this one. How you can tell is you'll see these parts stop. Let me get a better angle for you. So how you can tell on that is your hubs will stop turning, but you can actually see your servo saver still turning. That means it's actually trying to save that servo. So right there, you see how the hubs are stopped turning, but I've given a little bit on the servo and it's still trying. So what I do is I just turn my steering radius down until it just barely stops. So I usually max out the steering and I'll slowly turn the steering radius down until the hubs start moving. And click, click. Okay, I'll try that again. And click. Okay. Whew. You can do it. There it is. You just gotta find the right hole. Pow. Get that guy in. Slide the lock. Boom. Man, this thing's coming together. All right, let's get these M4 bolts in. Okay, I guess the only thing left is our side skirts, or side protection. These things. These are the ones that dude had on it, and used a little bit too long of bolts. Looks like somebody did. I'm gonna try and find the right length bolts. Hey, speaking of that, this is the most awesome kit ever. It's 10 bucks on Amazon, and it quite literally comes with everything. Everything from body clips to set screws to hinge pins that doesn't fit anything, but a complete assortment of M4, M3, and I believe M2.5 bolts. 10 bucks. Can't beat it. We do have some brand new wheels, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the life up on these first, then put the new ones on. The easiest way that I found to get this bearing in, I cheat. I just get a screwdriver and gently lift up on this shaft here, ever so gently, and let her fall right back in. These O-rings never stay in place, but we'll pretend that they do something. All right. Man, that diff fluid, that's some thick stuff. That's how I like it. Sitting up a little high, I might change that. All right, now for the final piece. This is the piece that I've been waiting for. You gotta step back for this. Pow! Brand new. I love it. Look at that. Come on. That is beautiful. Let's get a battery in this thing, man, and take it for a rip. You know, it really didn't cost a whole lot to do all of this. I got this thing for somewhere in the neighborhood of $200. You know, the Outcast in the condition that it was, I consider that a win. You know, some people might not. But all the parts, I don't remember exactly. It was somewhere north of $100. Oh, we forgot one thing. Oh no. Forgot our LiPo holder. Some people don't like these. I didn't at first, but they have grown on me. These wire holders right here, that is. What do you guys think? Do you like the new battery straps or the old style? I tend to like the new battery straps myself. These old style just, I don't know. They work great. And if they were metal, man, I'd pick these every single time. I don't know why they did plastic. That just seems unreasonable. Yeah, when you're bashing really hard, that does help a little bit. Brand new wing, brand new body, brand new almost everything but the drive shafts or the CVDs and the arms and the shocks and a bunch of other stuff. I'm loving it, guys. I don't even want to scratch this new body by putting these hinge pins in, body pins. Love it. Let's go take it for a rip. You thought I forgot. I wouldn't forget my center brace. I totally almost forgot my center brace. All right, let's get this thing out there. All right, guys, this is the little back road to our new spot. Nothing fancy, but it's more of a fun trip to get there. Got a friend with me this time. All right, arrived at our new old little spot. Two wheels. Nice. Yeah, this new shell's holding up pretty good. That really makes this thing come together. Loads of power, man. This thing is everything but brand new. Little mound here. Yeah, this is such a cool platform. 4S makes such a difference. Awesome. awesome. All right, guys, we're back here in the backyard, and I thought I'd just point this out. This is just a little bit of foam that I've double-sided taped to the body here. This is where the shock towers really like to, oh yeah, can't see that little sneak peek there. The shock towers like to dig in. You can see on this old body here, these shock towers really dig in here and cause a crap load of damage. So I saw that on this body. This tape job is what the previous owner did before I completely brought this thing back to life. Man, look how good this thing looks. I mean, come on, if that's not brand new, I don't know what is. Oh, anyways, thought you guys might like that. Let's get to bashing. Man, guys, I can't tell you how much I love this platform. Coming from just your typical 3S model, what a difference. We're back here in the backyard. We just came from our other little spot that I just recently came across. Man, what a fun platform. Especially coming from 10th scale cars like the Terminator and stuff like that. Ooh, nice. It is just such a difference. Love it. I'm trying a new thing with the camera, so forgive me if I don't get the best shots here. Me being relatively new to the 4S platform, what is a good starter mod pack? What would be the best upgrade to start with? Man, this thing is a little nose heavy. I've seen any major issues overall. Really the only thing I've done, I did raise the body post and put that foam on. Ooh, right on the nose. Landing. I'm a huge fan of like backflip tires. Well, I didn't like it at first, but they're rolling on the big time. Whew. Man, this thing's tough. For it being such a short wheelbase, man, this thing stays absolutely flat. Love it. Pretty cool. Man, that was awesome. I don't know if you guys could tell, but this thing is an absolute blast. I had a freaking awesome time with this thing. This thing is night and day difference. I drove it only a little bit before I did all these upgrades, or, you know, I guess you could call them upgrades, whatever it was. You know, bringing it back to its original stock form. But, man, this thing is an absolute freaking machine. Oh, man, it was all worth it. I hope you guys liked this video. It was a lot that went into it. There's a lot that goes into all these videos. It would really help out a lot if you guys would subscribe. I sure would appreciate it. But yeah, I've got a lot planned for this thing. If you guys want to see more, man, it's coming. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.